skate park etiquette all comes down to, you know, being aware of what's going around you. It's not necessarily like what you want, it's just what other people need and may want to be safe at a skate park.
In a way that makes it so everyone is safe and everyone gets a turn at the skate park.
Some kids, you know, are so compassionate and they stop and they think about everything, and other kids, they are just there honestly to put a thorn in your side. They don't really care and they'd rather see you get frustrated and upset.
Oh, bikers! I love them so much!
Kids that showed up to the skate park most of the time show up to have fun. They don't show up to actually try or to be respectful at all. They just interrupt, if anything, and get in the way.
Rebel, he called you a pussy.
They're there with their friends. They're not there to ride. Like, the older the kid on the scooter is, it seems, the more he's taking part in the rules. But that's again to do with the age gap and the empathy thing and the self-awareness.
I definitely would have to say it's the parents' fault, because I could just go from experience. I was probably like 8 or 9 when my dad stopped bringing me to the skate park. He wasn't like standing right next to me. He was probably over on a lawn chair reading a magazine or something. But like, you know, he still had an eye out for me. And if he see that I was getting in the way, like, he'd tell me like, hey, you know, you got to watch out for yourself. And nowadays you just see someone pull up in a minivan, 6 kids get out, and they just expect that their kids are going to learn, or I mean, just be okay there. But when it's not, you know, when no one's there watching, you can't really assume anything. You're just going to guess.
Most of the time telling the kid to get out of the way or doing it nice and respectfully, the kid will understand, but it all depends on what part of the town you're at, because some kids in some parts of the town are just saucy, and some kids in the other skate parks are just all best kind.
Alright, what's your name?
Justin.
Cool, Justin. How old are you?
7.
7. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Why? Come on, we're really trying to get this depth.
I don't know, ask him.
Hey, you!
That's just stereotyping. Like, anything hating on anyone for the specific thing they're riding is just stereotyping, because that doesn't hold. That's like anyone saying anything negative about skateboarding. Like, that doesn't hold any merit in my mind.
It didn't really matter, I guess, what you were riding. It was kind of just like who you knew or who you were. And I've seen kids get bikes thrown over fences and boards get focused, all types of stuff. People getting in some pretty serious fights over it. But when you get to a bigger city, you can still get into a fight or get your board focused, but it's going to be a lot more kids, a lot of different people you don't know. So it's a little harder to just, you know, jump the gun and completely flip out at somebody for just getting in your way at a skate park.
Some kids will definitely acknowledge the fact that you have to be respectful and take turns.
Then, you know, say, hey man, like, I'm going to go for this rail right now. Do you mind standing to the side? And they'll just take that and get real saucy and not really know how to handle it. But definitely has to do with, I guess, the way that their parents are bringing them up. A lot of kids aren't going to learn by themselves, you know.
They could probably set an age limit, probably like 12 and up, basically, or like parental supervision. Most of the time the kids just get hurt and then they just get taken home.
And if you went up and said something to them, they'd act like you were the issue.
A lot of the times that we go to the skate park, one of the skaters always almost bang into a scooter kid.
Like, I hit my leg off a scooter and that hurt, and like, he didn't seem to get hurt by my board, but then again, like, a second later, I would have been like tackling him full force. So it's about your size more than anything else.
I can understand a lot of people's point of views, but everyone usually has their own set of rules, I guess, for the skate park. I find myself, like, I definitely get in the way just as much as anyone. Like, I like skating, and I don't know, I'm not really, I guess, too cautious of who's in front of me. It's just more of what is around me. But yeah, kids, most of the time, they're just not old enough to really understand, like, what's going on, or like that people, you know, are going in certain directions. Like, skate parks have certain flows to it, so I mean, it takes a little while for everyone to understand of like what direction people are going and how fast and what they're trying.
Let's give you some examples of common misbehaviors that happen at most skate parks. But first, we will list some obstacles for people who are not familiar with skate parks. Ledge, manual pad, flat bank, quarter pipe, rail, bowl. A ledge is used for skateboarders, bikers, rollerbladers, and scooters to grind on. But for some reason, whenever you're at a skate park, you'll always see someone using the ledge as a bench. This is a common issue, and the oddest part about it is that there are almost always actual benches at the skate park that are meant to be sat on. Flat banks are used to ride down to build up speed or to air out of on the opposing side. Sometimes people will stand at the top of the flat bank just waiting for their turn, which is not the best place to be because most people will be trying to do tricks coming out of it. A similar issue is always found on quarter pipes as well, where people will always be waiting at the lip of the quarter pipe. This is an issue because most tricks on a quarter pipe will be done at the top of the coping or above. If someone is standing there, they have a good chance of getting hit. Similar issues can be brought up with bowls as well, but even more can be added if there is a spine or a roll-in built into the bowl. Because for the most part, people will just be riding around the one bowl, but with a spine or a roll-in, they have the option to transfer into other ones. This meaning people have to make sure no one is transferring into the bowl while they are dropping in, or vice versa. In the end, everyone will not be able to see what is going on around them at the skate park every second they are there. So it's inevitable that people will get hurt. But I hope people grasp some concepts from this, and also that parents dropping off their children at the skate park hopefully have a better idea of the kind of environment and situations your child will encounter at a skate park.